Hi James, this is Dylan Kirkby. I wanted to make you a quick video just to show everything in action, and because I was in a bit of a rush to write that README and forgot a few things, I think. So let me just turn off debug rendering. I guess I didn't put this in the README, but I think I did in the comment. I just made this staircase here as a little test out of boxes. I didn't have a matching graphics item for it, so I just left it alone. One of the things I didn't write in the README, since health values are relevant, is the tilde key pulls up this command window, which simply shows you the player health there at 20,000. So if I walk onto my fire here, not actually on it, okay, it does a lot of damage, so it killed me pretty quick. Oh, jeez. I might have turned that value up too high. Okay, so it did 900 damage to me there. I capped the health rather arbitrarily at 25,000. So if I touch this health potion here, it will pick up, a little delayed, and that'll set me up to 25,000. It's a heal for 10,000. The terrain here are boxes instead of planes like they used to be. Here's my tree with a capsule around it. You can see I've also got a capsule around the teapot. There's a little box and a capsule representing the fire, so you can't walk over the middle of it, but the whole thing can damage you. A box for my potion as well. And then these rocks over here are the BTVH triangle mesh, which from my readings are the optimized version of the triangle mesh. Basically, the people on the forum said, for the love of God, don't use the regular triangle mesh. So I figured out how to make this one appear where I wanted it to, with the corresponding graphics. Down on the ground, if I walk off of here, the little tell me that I'm falling for a moment in my animation system, and it'll kill me on the death plane and respawn me with my 20,000 health again. So my animation system is what's dispatching all the motions to the capsule here, aside from the mouse turn, which handles itself. I can walk up slopes and whatnot. This level of slope will not cause me to just fall back down. And I suppose I'll show the that was interesting, actually. I guess I never ran into that test case when I was programming this. So if you run off at too high of a velocity, it'll just make you fall. But on ground level, if I do my side strafe, and I do my jump, this is a non-in-place animation, unlike the rest, so I had to have the physics manager handle the motion instead of the animation manager for that one. Looks like my side running is a bit of an edge case for this thing. Looks like my side running in only one direction is a bit of an edge case for that, so that's interesting to know. So implementation or runtime wise, that's about it. It's the one key to turn off and on debug rendering, which will still leave everything collectible. And my tilt key. Okay. So since I didn't mention it in the file, here the animation manager iterate component in the animation folder is where my dispatches and the like happen. So this loop is resolving animations, so if my current animation is falling, for example, it'll just auto-cue itself and something else handles when you land. I believe that that's in the... Sorry, I'm a bit off at the moment. So here's my turning, like this player object set orientation here. If I peek my definition of it, it'll chain down and check if we have a physics component, and if we have a physics component, we'll set its orientation via the interface method. And the same idea for, if I go down here, if I'm idle, I set my velocities to 0. Or if I'm a walking animation, first I 0 my velocity. Since the character controller is running purely on linear velocities at the moment, I want to 0 anything before I apply a new one. This apply impulse name here is an artifact of the old code, but if I go to its definition, it'll check if you're a character controller, then it will call your linear velocity. It's still named apply impulse for when I was using the ball components. For my collision listener, I've got my HPP there, and I had a bit of a filter issue, I guess. So here's the CPP, and you can see everything happening here. This was just reporting the name of the balls. It doesn't matter, but I wanted to keep it there just to have it around. So if you get a reported collision from my character controller, then I send it in to make sure it's always in the same order to my collide characters. And there's just some basic checks for my simple collisions here. So this is my death plane. I check if I'm a plane, then I check if it's death plane. Realistically, I could have just done the name check. No, that's not a big deal. It tells you hit the death plane in the command window, which I've closed already, plays a scream, and it plays the you're dead animation. The death animation, when it resolves, teleports you back to spawn and whatnot. Or the bonfire here, I got all my to-dos because this was a little bit quick and dirty. Which also cues the death animation. Being in the death animation also disables other collisions, so it won't constantly kill you every frame if you're at 0 health on the fire. And when you're falling, other inputs are disabled. Though the animation system runs on a queue, so it can be what do I want to say? It doesn't feel the greatest to use because I don't have animation blending running in the state I'd like it to. So that's the task for the next little while. Okay. So it kills me and teleports me away. Anyways, I've been rambling on here and a little bit disorganized. So sorry about that. Key things not included in the README to recap. The Animation Manager Iterate component handles the physics information dispatch for my movement on the kinematic character controller. And the tilde key will show you what your current health value is. The fire moves a little bit fast, I suppose, so you can change that value if you would like. On my collision listener, friendly name bonfire, just put this to a lower number if you want to get a better idea of it. Sorry about that. I hope this recording helps and that I wasn't too boring for you. Thanks, James.